What's good, people? Satsuki the Savage here, and today is a special video because this is a topic I thought about for a long time. I just never actually put a video in the works, alright? But better late than never. So with this video, what I'm going to do is look at the Phantom Troop and evaluate the potential of each member to be the leader in the event that something happens to Chrollo. Like, if Chrollo were to die, I want to see who could take the mantle and actually control the spiders well, all right? Now, don't get me wrong. I think Chrollo is irreplaceable. I don't think anybody can do what Chrollo does, all right? But we're just going to see who would be the best option to take over, again, if something happened to Chrollo. So with that being said, let's get started.
Major manga spoilers will be in this video. Viewer discretion is advised. The first order of business is establishing what a good leader is, specifically for the Phantom Troop. There are some fundamental qualities a good leader must possess, like being persuasive or being confident, but the Phantom Troop are an anomaly that work under a different set of logic. So since what makes a good leader for the Phantom Troop is subjective, I'll give you guys the makeup of the perfect Phantom Troop leader in my eyes. Some degree of intelligence is needed, albeit it isn't totally necessary to be a genius mind, since the leader can be surrounded by advisors. Strength is an important quality as well. The head honcho of the Phantom Troop should be able to check and rein in the legs of the spider, but similar to intelligence, being strong on a supreme level isn't absolutely required. Next, fearlessness or bravery is paramount. The leader of the spiders cannot be weak-willed in any sense. Lastly, the leader of the Phantom Troop must uphold the values of the spider already in place. Mainly, the notion that the survival of the whole is more important than the individual when it pertains to the members of the Phantom Troop. Now that we have that out of the way, I'll begin to rank the Phantom Troop members by who I think will make the best leader from 9 to 1. And remember, these are current Phantom Troop members. None of them are dead. Sitting at the bottom, I have Chrollo. While I believe in Chrollo's potential being a Zodiac and learning Nen earlier than even Killua, he is still much too inexperienced to take over the Phantom Troop. Chrollo himself admits that he is inferior to the other spider members, and his relationship to the Zodiac family compromises his loyalty. And as an unrelated bonus, Chrollo is number 4 of the Phantom Troop, which is considered an unlucky number in Japan, so that's another knock against Chrollo. Next up, we have Illumi, and just like Chrollo, his potential as a candidate is diluted by him being a Zodiac. Illumi is more untrustworthy than Chrollo because he is a newcomer and has a history with the current enemy of the Phantom Troop, Hisoka. Other than that, Illumi has the ability to be the leader of the Phantom Troop, but he is too much of a question mark to have faith in. 7th, I am putting Shizuku here because of her glaring issues as a prime decision maker. Unlike Chrollo and Illumi, we don't have to question any of the other members' loyalty, but a level of intelligence was one of the criteria I set, and Shizuku is a dumbass who falls short of the wit needed to lead. For example, there was a time she arm wrestled Gon with her non-dominant hand and forgot about it shortly after, so her airheadedness would surely spell trouble for the spiders. Next up is Nobunaga. Now, I know the Nobunaga lovers might be ticked off about me placing him sorta low, but I have my reasons. First, Nobunaga isn't the brightest spider in the web, as seen when he got finessed by Gon and Killua in their escape. Now, he isn't Shizuku levels of stupid, but he is lacking in brain power somewhat. And the biggest indictment against Nobunaga is that he is too emotional. Character-wise, Nobunaga is likable because he wears his heart on his sleeve, but that isn't good for a person who is supposed to be in command of a group because orders may be made on fleeting feelings. It's tough for me to say this because Nobunaga has charisma. I can see the other spiders embracing him as a leader because you can gravitate towards him, but objectively, I don't think he is the man for the job when push comes to shove. Next up is Bonelenov. Yes, I said it, the Mummy Man is 5th on this list, and my reasoning is simple. Unlike Nobunaga, Bonelenov doesn't have any negative qualities that I can think of that would be a detriment to his leadership. In the same breath, I don't think he has many positive qualities either, so he's pretty neutral on the list. There isn't much information to move Bonelenov up or down in the ranks, so he sits where he sits off of the absence of information I have on him. At number 4, we had the height challenge Phaeton. The strength of Phaeton alone has a huge bearing on his placement. Phaeton seems as if he has enough juice to keep the spiders in line if anything popped off. Also, Phaeton doesn't seem to fail in the field of intelligence either, and more importantly, he definitely upholds the Phantom Troop's core belief that the whole of the spider is prioritized over the individual parts. The only real flaw with Phaeton is his lack of presence. Now, you don't need to be the loudest in the room because Chrollo obviously isn't that, but Phaeton has a quiet, stoic vibe to him that doesn't seem like it will resonate well with others. Other than that, Phaeton is pretty much the full package, but I can't shake the feeling that his attitude will be a turnoff for the spiders, and what's a leader without his followers? Moving on up, I have Machi, who I believe is a well-rounded candidate. Machi has the strength, the smarts, and the resolve required to be the big boss, and as an added bonus, she has these instincts that are almost like a sixth sense that would do well with her as a leader. However, Machi does have one knock against her, which is her not embodying the belief that the spider is bigger than one member. Machi's refusal to go after Kurapika when Chrollo was captured was proof of her being too reliant or attached to Chrollo, which the leader of the Phantom Troop shouldn't be. Machi was even willing to fight Phaeton and Finks if they followed Pakunoda in an attempt to kill Kurapika. So on that front, she doesn't follow one of the rules of the Phantom Troop, so she isn't the best choice for me. In the second spot, we had the Gucci sauced up, gold covered pharaoh, Finks. Finks has almost no negative qualities as a leader. In fact, during the Spider's Chimera Ant extermination mission, he was the interim leader. Finks, I believe, is one of the strongest in the Spider Troop, which even the arm wrestling ranking seems to imply. He believes that the sum of the spider is more important than the individual parts, and I think with his headstrong personality, he exudes the aura of a good leader. The only negative trait for Finks is his questionable intelligence, brought to my attention by his quote-unquote prank when on the phone with Kurapika. But as I said much earlier, Finks can simply have advisors to guide him. And the best choice for leader is the nigga with a gat on his fingertips, Franklin. As far as I can tell, there are no flaws in Franklin's potential leadership, but instead, there are positive qualities that boast him number 1 on my ranking. Franklin might not be the strongest, but I think he is decent enough. He is one of the founding members of the Phantom Troop that follows the core values of the troop better than anyone else, and he has the wisdom to lead the spiders. Think back to chapter 118, where Franklin prevented a fight between Finks, Phaeton, and Machi, Cortopi, and Pakunoda. He figured the worst outcome of that situation was the internal conflict killing off the entire group, showing that he cares about the spiders as a whole better than anyone else. Lastly, Franklin seems to have a level head. He doesn't come off as reactionary, but rather calculated, so I think he can make rational decisions as a leader.
All right, people, that pretty much wraps everything up. Let me know who you think would be a good leader to control the spiders if something happened to Chrollo, and tell me why you think that, all right? But that is it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage, out. Am I dying to live?